I think it's time. Hi, my name is Jay. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour. This is going to be the sketchbook tour of my 10th sketchbook. This is the 10th sketchbook I've had, like, literally my entire life, like, from random sketchbooks in, like, the 5th grade to now. So I'm actually really excited because I'm pretty proud of this one. This sketchbook was kind of the one that really, like, got me over a ledge in my art. I was like really trying to figure out my art style, and this helped me a lot. It is an ELO sketchbook, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically just a brand, and they're mostly known for their like this like square. I'm pretty sure it's an 8x8 sketchbook. Starting off with the stickers. Whoa. I just have these old Polaroid ones that I got in a little pack. This Edward Scissorhands that I'm pretty sure I like got as like a random gift. I'm not 100% sure. A little skeleton with a violin, a Minecraft rabbit, and then these two Five Nights at Freddy's stickers. I was going for like red, black, and white. I was very much had a theme. And then on the side, I have Sketchbook 10. So yeah, let's get into it. When you open up to the first page, it's a picture of my OC Shoya. And I've had this OC for literally ever. If you go back super far on my Instagram, this will probably be mostly who you see. Anyways, I always draw him with this like, that little like Hanamaki disease, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. But I love to draw him with that. I have a few other pictures where he looks like this. But yeah, I started this sketchbook on February 3rd, 2023, and I finished it August of this year. So a few months ago, since I'm filming this video, I've already started a new sketchbook and everything, but I have been wanting to film a little sketchbook tour. Moving on, this is the first time I ever had an ELO sketchbook, so I was just like taken aback by all the space, and then I was really inspired by how mostly like Drawing with Waffles will do like a first page, so that's kind of what was going on here. And then this was just kind of like first day new sketchbook sketches, and I just like really wanted to draw something. I drew this little guy from Little Nightmares. I've never actually played it, but I think his design is really cute, so I drew him out. I'm pretty sure his name is Mono. Then I just have some drawings of my OC Leakai and some My Hero Academia drawings. I was in like a little bit of a phase of rewatching it, so that's what is going on here. Moving on, I just have some character sketches. I was working on my comic a lot back then, and so I just wanted to get a lot of character ideas down. So I have just random character sketches. These are mostly like dead end ideas at this point, but I still love to look back on them. We have Pepper, my little werewolf OC, and then we have a drawing of Ima over here. This is a continuation of all my character stuff. We have Leakai, and then Leakai and Pepper as kids. I just love to add a little bit of lore behind my characters. Every story I write is very much character first, so that's what I mostly get stuck on. And then I once again had a My Hero Academia moment where I just wanted to draw Midoriya so bad, so I did. And then there's also some Bakugo sketches here with some little snake bites, of course. Moving on, this page is kind of like a mixture of whatever I was into at this point. This is of Shoya, but it kind of ended up not looking really like him. This was, I started playing Stardew Valley for the first time, so I drew my little guy, what I would look like as a little farmer. And then I also had an era of drawing South Park, so it's kind of a secret. It's hidden deep in the depths of my Tumblr, but it was definitely there. Moving on, I just have some random sketches, more Leakai and Shoya. If you don't know their lore, these are my two OCs and they are in love deeply. And then I just have random OCs. This is a sim that I had that I drew what he might have looked like. It was a cute little moment. This is more character sketches and ideas. This is my OC Oliver. You'll see more of him in this book. I used to draw him like all the time. Next, I have another character spread. I used to love doing these. I just love to make a character, but especially back then in like 2023, it was like a big thing that I wanted to do. And so this is Augustine. He is technically a part of my comic. I don't post him much or talk about him much, but he is there as a little side character. Just wanted a little shifty cat. Moving on, this is just like a random page. I'm pretty sure I did this in my art class when I was like beyond bored. I have these like chalk paint markers, a little Leakai. This is Andrew's sketches from All for the Game, if you have any idea what that is. Oh god. Okay, let's start over here. This is another Andrew Minyard sketch if he had like glasses, because I saw a couple people headcanoning that on Tumblr and I was like, oh, that'd be so cute. And then I just drew my little persona that you see on here. This I was in my study hall and I was like, I want to draw Springtrap. And then I started drawing him and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But so I just randomly scribbled the rest of it. And then when I opened up this page later that day in my art class, my friend saw this picture and started laughing her ass off. And I was like, okay, so he's here and he's a good memory for me. Next, this was also drawn in my AP art class. Very good memories there. It was a fun experience to be in that class and be able to just draw all day. Anyways, these are some book characters that I have. They're all like a part of the same story. This is like the main four. I love doing this little like highlighter thing. I associate colors with all of my characters, so that's what you'll see that a lot in this sketchbook, and I think it's a really fun way to like add a little bit more to a page. I don't like when pages are very empty, even though sometimes I fail myself on that even in this sketchbook, but in truth, I would prefer my sketchbook layouts to be more like this, full. Moving on, we have some more sketches of my characters when they were a little bit younger. And then over here, I wanted to draw Funtime Foxy and Lolbit as humans, and I thought it was really cute. I had this main idea for Funtime Foxy, and Lolbit just sort of appeared, which I think is in character. Next, this was an idea I had for a little emoticon for YouTube, but that was scratched. This is my Minecraft character. This is what my skin looks like. And then while I was on the topic of redrawing Five Nights at Freddy's characters, I drew Roxy. On this page, I drew one of my characters, very much inspired like by Haley Williams, if you recognize the hair. And then over here, I just have some more character sketches. This is where we get into TikTok territory. These were the first sketches of Tiki Tobe I ever drew, and I posted them on TikTok, and it started this whole thing where over the summer, I was a complete like creepypasta TikToker, and I made the Band-Aid, so I'm gonna speed run through all of these sketches because that's mostly what it is, but these are the first Tiki Tobe designs. I remember people being so mad that I didn't put his non-canon scar, and so I finally folded in the next, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I gave him his scar in these ones, so I was like, here, damn. I love how all of these sketches turned out though, and it makes me so happy to look back. More, we have Homicidal Liu, and then also just some persona designs. My persona has some lore that maybe I'll share one day, but this is what we're focusing on. We're focusing on creepypasta. More creepypasta. I used to just like do sketch pages and then I would like film a TikTok of all the sketches, and so it was really fun and it kept me really motivated to keep drawing. So I have the creepypasta fandom on TikTok to thank for getting me out of an art block, honestly. More Eyeless Jack. He was one of my favorites, and it was so fun to draw him. I love looking back on this because I draw him so similarly now, but also so different. This was my first sketch of Jeff the Killer. And so it's kind of near and dear to my heart because I draw him a lot now. He's like one of like my go-tos. I've always been a little bit into creepypasta, but one random day I just got so hyper fixated on it again out of nowhere, and I felt like I was 13 again, and it was so fun. These are sketches of my creepypasta character, my own that I created. Her name is Jaden, and this was like her first original kind of design. I just love to draw a blonde baddie. And right next to her is Chuya. I thought of this as like a post-corruption Chuya. It was just really fun, and I wanted an excuse to draw him because the Bungo Stray Dogs leaks were coming out, so I had to. This is more Jaden, some random sketches here. I remember I drew this in my art class as well, and it's still one of my favorite drawings ever. I just love how the watercolor turned out. I have to move my watercolor to be like more accessible because I love to add like pops of color to my sketchbook, and I love watercolor so much. It used to be my main medium, but then I switched to digital art. Moving on, this was also in my art class. I did the like little watercolor stuff over here, and then I did this sketch of Jeff, which I really like. I posted this almost immediately. Then we move on to some anatomy practice. I was really trying to break it down. I need to do this more often. I was trying to get into the habit of it, and I was doing this while I was in class, and so my friend, who's now my roommate, Meg, started drawing little faces on all of my little guys. So next we have a little bit more. This was when the chapter came out, or the episode where Chuya was like actually not dead. If you are in the Bungo Stray Dogs fan, I'm sorry for the spoilers, but bro is not dead. And then this is the middle of my sketchbook, so I did a little drawing with Jaden here, and I think it turned out really cute. I just wanted to do something kind of special, so this is dead middle of the sketchbook. We've made it. More anatomy practice. I really liked this one, so I was kind of proud of some of these. It took me a minute. I was like out of practice, but I slowly got the hang of it. And these shapes, like square to triangle type of shape, is actually really helpful for how I draw anatomy like on the day. More Tiki Toby sketches. Who's surprised? I just wanted to post some more because I loved posting on Tumblr and everything and interacting with the fandom. It was probably one of my favorite time periods for my art. Then we have some Jeff sketches and then a little Sigma from Bungo Stray Dogs. Very lazy sketches that I did in class. I wasn't really that focused, but I do love how this one turned out. This page bothered me because I put drawings in such awkward places and I felt like I couldn't fill it up. So some of these, like this picture of Blair and this picture of Leo, I really like, but the rest of them, I was kind of just scribbling all over my page, and I think that's like a real showing of what a sketchbook is like. It doesn't all have to be perfect. It's just a little extra addition to my brain, and, you know, my brain was a little scrambled this day, and that's okay. Okay, moving on. These were also in my art class. That's where I spent a lot of my time with my sketchbook, so it was a good excuse because we had to be drawing. Like, she wanted us to make sure we were at least doing something, so I was kind of forced to sketch almost daily, but this is a really good practice, and I want to get back into the habit of it. So I did some Sebastian sketches from Stardew Valley, and then this random little sketch, and this was from my friend Kevin. Ooh, let me get in the light. My friend Kevin, who drew this little guy. So very fun, very good memories in this sketchbook. I have to say, I'm smiling as I'm like flipping through. This was another one of those I didn't know what the hell to put on the sketchbook page, so I just started scribbling, but some of these things are kind of important. I have Leakai's switchblade and then this picture of Oliver. I have more anatomy practice here. I was trying to do different poses and it was killing me, but I love drawing like these angles because normally I will just draw like headshots, so I think if I start doing stuff like this, that's what my main goal was. I was like, just show a little bit more of the body, get some practice in. This, I was planning out some tattoos for Leakai, so I haven't fully drawn him with them yet, but they are an idea that sticks in my brain sometimes. And then over here was some more persona drawings. I was like trying to figure out a little outfit. Technically, my persona is like a little fuzzy dragon, so if you don't know, now you know. This was when I was getting into Baldur's Gate 3, so these were I have an Alistair sketch, and then I have this sketch of Oculus, my very first Baldur's Gate tab, and you can clearly see that this is my very first like typical emo boy tiefling character, and then I had what his like relationships with the other characters were, and it was really fun. I recently redrew him, so he doesn't look like this anymore, but I was giving him lore and everything, and it was so fun to make like this little character, even if like half of this stuff doesn't fit him anymore, because I've fully sketched out his lore now, and he's like a genuine like D&D character I would use in a campaign. But it was fun. I think Baldur's Gate is a really good starting place if you like don't really know what you're doing as far as making D&D characters. It can give you a lot of good ideas, and I kind of hyperfixated on it for a little bit. Some random sketches, I got so bored, and so I just started using these like paint markers that I forgot I had. I like how some of these sketches turned out. I don't like how others did. This looks kind of silly. I'm not a huge fan of this one. Not a huge fan of this one, but I do like how this Astarian came out. All very old. Then I started making more characters. This is my second tab. His name is Rune. He's a little blacksmith. It's also really fun because Baldur's Gate, while the character creation is amazing, you obviously can't get every single thing that you want. So as like somebody who is very character based and has a very specific idea in mind for my characters, I have to draw them so I can picture that while I'm playing instead of what they look like in game. Because mods can only do so much, honestly. And then I took these two characters, Rune and Oculus, and I started giving them like a story outside of it, so these characters all kind of like group together into like their own lore. There's another character named Orchid, another tiefling. I resketched this outfit. I'm pretty sure I had a Pinterest reference though. I drew Rune when he was younger. I was like getting really into the lore. It was definitely, you can tell when I'm like fixated on something because that's like all I will draw. Then went straight back to my roots and started drawing some Jeff the Killer sketches and then some OCs over here. This was a Minecraft play I was doing, which I cannot physically play a game without adding lore. So that's what I was doing. I was like making NPCs and stuff, and these were two of them. They're like married, they like have a whole thing going on. And then this was, I think this is funny to point out. I sketched this during kind of like an art block period, and it's a picture of Rune, and I hated it so bad that I scribbled over it. And then when I got out of my art block, I was literally like, this was not that bad. And I just think it's silly to look back on because I think people can relate to that. Like, you just like, your eyes change so much depending on how you feel, especially as an artist. And on top of the fact that you're always your biggest critic, you're always telling yourself you can do better, you're always saying stuff. So I just think this is silly, and I love to look back on it because I used to hate it so bad, and then I woke up one day and I was like, it's actually fine. It's just a sketchbook. Not everything has to be perfect. It's literally the point of having a sketchbook is so you can learn and so you can grow. Moving on, I have a few more sketches, and then I started rethinking one of my OC's designs, so I added a couple of things to him. He has that very typical, like, black-haired anime protagonist look to him sometimes, and it's not my favorite thing, so he's still in the works of being redesigned while not losing, like, what he's always been. Next, I have some more sketches, and then these are specifically Clive Rosfield from Final Fantasy 16. I had a little moment where I was watching a Let's Play, like a Rad Brad Let's Play, and I was like, I need to draw this man. I needed this man. Moving on, I kind of forgot about this page apparently because it's very blank, but I remember being in a coffee shop and drawing this picture of Jean Moreau from All for the Game when there was an announcement that the Sunshine Court was releasing. So that's what this is. And then I wanted to see what it would look like if I gave Leakai a bigger nose to make his snout make him look like he kind of had a snout. I might go back to that idea. So far it's just still on this, staying static on this sketchbook page. Next, this is actually a video. I think I privated it, but I drew on a mini skateboard. Maybe I'll unprivate it, I don't know. I actually like the video. But I drew on this mini skateboard, and I had a whole sketchbook page for it, and it turned out so cute. And then over here, I just have more creepypasta. I have Leo and Helen, or Bloody Painter, whatever you want to call him. This is my queer agenda. These two together living happily ever after is my agenda. Next, these are Clip Studio notes that I clipped into here because I don't think I like how this page turned out. Yeah, I was just scribbling, so I like to ignore that page. But there is this really cool picture of Jeff the Killer right next to it, so that's awesome. I really like the movie Balto, and I got reminded that it exists, so I started sketching out a few things of, like, Balto as a human. I was gonna turn this into a whole video. I have, like, a digital art piece, like, almost done, but I don't know if that'll ever be completed. And then I have, this is probably one of my favorite sketches of Jeff that I've ever done. Some days I wake up and know how to do a side profile, and others I don't, so definitely need some more practice, but overall, I do like how this picture turned out. We're rearing the end here. I drew a little sketch of my persona and then just this huge Cloud Strife picture because I wanted to get this done. I'm pretty sure this is one of the last pages. I wanted to get this sketchbook done and just start anew. I was ready to start fresh, so I always kind of do this to myself where I rush my sketchbooks. I'm going to try not to do that this time, but we made it to our last page where I drew my, like, main OC trio, and it had been so long since I had drawn them, but they had to be on my last page of the sketchbook because they're so near and dear to my heart. Alright, that is the end of my sketchbook tour for Sketchbook 10. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that seeing my random scribbles was kind of fun for you guys. I have started a new sketchbook, so here's a little sneak peek of Sketchbook 11. The little cover I also drew on the back of this one. Nothing on this one. I was very much minimal in my design, so you can definitely see some differences. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to drink some water if you haven't during this entire video, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!